15 dastardly betrayals, 27 broken hearts, 8 bloody revolutions, 765 deadly bullets, 200 litres of blood, countless tears, 22 blissful reunions, 1 film festival.
I'm Julia Lee. I'm the writer-director of Sleeping Beauty. It's my first film. It's great to be at this festival because I first came here when I was 19 years old because I live in Sydney, so it's wonderful to be here with our film that we shot in Sydney as well. And the film, it's a portrait of Lucy. She's a university student who takes a job as a sleeping beauty.
Thank you for coming. Such a pleasure to see such a unique beauty.
Lucy, in the role of Sleeping Beauty, agrees to be drugged and put to sleep, and she doesn't know what happens to her during the night. The audience, of course, does know, so that brings some tension to the film. A strange thing happened to me, actually, after I published my novel, The Hunter. I had a little bit of this exact kind of exposure, actually, being interviewed, and I find it uncomfortable, and I contracted a nightmare where I was being filmed in my sleep, and that's very disturbing, and I realise we're all quite vulnerable in our sleep, and sometimes we wake up and we almost edit out our vulnerable sleeping hours and stitch together our waking days, and I wondered what would it be like to know that something was happening to you in your sleep, but not to be sure what it was. Yeah, before making Sleeping Beauty, I'd published 2 novels, The Hunter and Disquiet, and people ask me, is there a difference being a novelist and a filmmaker, or was it hard to move from being a novelist to being a filmmaker? And really, they're all coming from the same place, which is it's my sensibility, and my sensibility is something I've sort of acquired over my many years on this earth. And the novelist and the filmmaker, they both work with the flow of time. They're both, long narratives. So how you work with time is a factor in both sort of mediums. They both build complex worlds, complex characters. Hopefully, they both set out to explore something that's worth exploring. It's probably the most important thing. But yes, at the same time, they're very different. The process is very different. I really enjoyed the collaborative process on Sleeping Beauty, and I was really lucky to work with some incredible crew, heads of department like Jeffrey Simpson, the DP. We worked quite closely to get our mise en scène right, because the shooting style that I opted for, that was actually in the script from the moment of conception, was this the long single shots covering a scene. So we didn't shoot traditional coverage. Because it was our home city in Sydney, we sort of had the luxury of being able to scout locations quite early on. And Nick Myers, my editor, was really wonderful, and there's some secret tricks in this film that I will never reveal, but they're there. And the sound design, of course, was an important part of the film, because we tried to marry the visual restraint of the film with the sound world. So I tended to say, let's pull it back rather than put things in. Well, Emily Browning, she put down a test that I watched, and I found that I couldn't really take my eyes off her. We spoke. She understood the script. It resonated with her. I think in the film she made it her own, which is also very important for the actor. I love the sort of latent tip of the iceberg feeling that she gives to the role. So you're always aware that there's something going on underneath, and I find her incredibly beautiful, and She has a strange beauty, not a cookie-cutter beauty, and that really appeals to me. Well, I'm actually really interested in what I call sort of wonder cinema. So I hope to make a film where the audience was thinking, did I really see that, or did I really hear that? Was that really happening? So a response of intense wonder rather than shock. And I find the State Theatre is such a wonder room. I mean, it's an incredible space, and so it's wonderful to be in there.